All right, welcome in to episode 5 of the Athletes Insight Podcast. I'm Kate Smith.
I'm Mitchell Manning.
And we talked to two guests this week, talked to a coach and a player. Give who it was and thoughts about that.
So we talked with Coach Chris Elliott from Van Buren. He is the D-line coach and the special teams coordinator over there. And then we talked last night. We talked to a guy from Mayflower. Kate, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we had Cam Willis from Mayflower. You know, he's a receiver. He's got, offered to the University of Arkansas Monticello. Pretty good player there. They've had a pretty good start to the season. So here are those interviews.
This is Coach Elliott from Van Buren, and he's been coaching there for 21 years, correct?
Yeah, you're 21. Time flies.
So the first thing that we wanted to talk about was just how did the job opportunity at Van Buren come about, and why have you been there for 21 years?
Well, the last part of that is probably the easiest part to answer. It's a great place to work. There's great administration here. The good times and the bad times that we've had here over the last 20 plus years have the administration has never wavered in their support of our football program and our student athletes and coaches and everybody else involved. So that's one part of it. After a little while, having kids and whatnot, getting kind of ingrained in the community and finding a church home and all that kind of stuff. It just those kind of things that it makes it pretty easy once you kind of get settled in and there's good people around. As far as how I ended up at Van Buren, actually, the late Jody Jenkins was kind of the conduit between myself and at that time, Coach Eddie Tipton. He's now our high school principal. But I was working for Cameron Lane at the time and had just graduated and was looking for a coaching job. Coach Jenkins called me up. He was at Ozark at the time, I believe, as the athletic director, and said, "Hey, what would you think about going to Van Buren?" And I said, "I'm in. Let's get the ball rolling." And he said, "All right, well, I think I can get you an interview." And Coach Jenkins and Coach Tipton were good friends and knew each other from along the way. And I think Coach Tipton had been at Ozark at one time and whatnot. So that's kind of how I got hooked up with Van Buren. Came down, interviewed. They offered me a job, and around the 4th of July of I guess it'd been like 2004. I took the job. Wow. and moved up here. Y'all weren't even born yet. So
no, yeah,
yeah. I wasn't even really thought about it yet.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I want to ask you. So, I mean, I think nowadays you don't really hear about coaches being at places for over 20 years. I think that's kind of unheard of. So, what is it about Van Buren that really keep you staying?
Yeah, I mean, it just again the support from the administration and friendships that you make along the way, not only with coworkers but also just people you get to know who have kids the same age as yours and whatnot growing up, and so being kind of busy with all that and making and building new relationships. I think that's really one of the main reasons that we have stuck around. I never really saw myself as being one of the kind of nomadic coaches to begin with. It was kind of one of those things where I felt like if I went and I was happy, I was doing exactly what I wanted to do out of college, then why screw that up? And so the other things that have kind of sweetened the pot, so to speak, to stay here is my teaching assignments of late. Within the last 10 years, I teach a sports fishing class. So a couple days a week, I get to take kids fishing here at one of our local city parks and do those kind of things as well as archery and some other things along the way. So, I mean, it's the grass isn't always greener, and I've had some other coaches who have been here who one of which actually left here to go to Russellville. Matt Long, he was one of the baseball coaches there a few years back before he went to Morrilton, and I guess he's gotten out of coaching altogether now. But I mean, to hear him talk to me at one point after he had left Van Buren, he was like, "I wish I could have stayed." It was just getting back closer to some family and whatnot that they had in the Atkins area, I know was important to him. And so that I totally understand. But I think if he could have had his way, and really settled in, it's a great place to live. You got a lot of the modern conveniences of Northwest Arkansas and anything that you don't have here locally. I mean, it's quick to get there within 35, 40 minutes. So, that's kind of nice as well. So,
yeah, it is. What has been your favorite season? If you had to pick one season of all your time there, what's your favorite season?
I think it'd be easier to say probably some like most memorable games, because each season, man, it's there's a cliche, I guess, every week in itself is a season. And,
right.
But I think about a couple of years ago going to Jonesboro and knocking them off. I think we kind of squeaked in as maybe like the 6th seed and went up to Jonesboro. I think they were like a 3 seed, 2 seed, something like that. End up knocking them off there at their place. Last year, traveling 4+ hours across the state to West Memphis, beating West Memphis on their field. That was that was quite a bit of fun. But there's a lot of kids that come through that are special that you remember, you build good relationships with. So to kind of pin it down to one season, it'd be really tough. 2010 was a fun group. Once again, that was an opportunity to go to the state playoffs. I believe that was the year we won the first home playoff game since 1996, 1997, whatever that was, when the Pointers won the state championship back in 96. So to go to win a home playoff game and then to go on the road, we either went to Pine Bluff or El Dorado. I can't remember off the top of my head, but and unfortunately lost that game. But I will say that, guys on that team like Drew White, who went on to play at Ouachita Baptist as a receiver, and his brother Brooks that played at SAU, and Tyler Spoon, who ended up playing for the Razorbacks baseball. But all those guys were with us that year, and so that was a fun group, special group that added a lot of excitement to our community and to our football program back then.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about. I mean, obviously, we just played y'all last Friday.
Right.
Rub
it in, why don't you, huh?
I just wanted to get your thoughts about the game. I mean, it was a really good game, first conference game. So yeah, just get your thoughts about the game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Unfortunately, the Cyclones came out on the plus side of that, but that's okay. The first half, I thought we slugged it out pretty well. Second half, let some things get away from us. Obviously the tackle eligible play that slipped in on there, and guys having their eyes in the wrong spot, and that ended up being a pretty exciting play, I know, for Cyclone fans and the team as well. But it's always Coach Wheeler and the Russellville staff. They always do such a good job defensively of really mixing it up.
Yes, they do.
And really giving us fits at times. A guy that used to work here at Van Buren, who's since now coaching in Texas, a dear friend of mine, John Brooks. He was always very, very complimentary when he was the offensive coordinator here at Van Buren, talking about Coach Wheeler and just all the different looks and how he's able to do things defensively to give us fits. Kudos again to the defense and taking Trenton Cooley out of the game for the most part. He only had a couple of touches. I think one of them ended up in a touchdown, but outside of that, he was stifled pretty well. Luckily, Cameron Keller was able to kind of tote the rock for 180 plus yards and do his part, and the offensive line was able to open some holes for him. We just couldn't do enough defensively to keep those points down and on y'all's side and come out with a win on our side. So.
Yeah. I've had so I play basketball, and I've had to guard Cooley last year, and I'm going for a loose ball, and then he just run right past me. Like he's fast as crap. So like I should talk a little bit about him. Like he's a great player. He's had a really good season, and just get like kind of your thoughts about him. He's had a really good
season. Absolutely. Trenton's one of those kids that you love when he's on your team, and you would hate to have to try to figure out a way to defend him. And whether it's basketball, or football or what have you, but he's not necessarily the most vocal leader or anything like that, but he does put in his work. He's always, sure to get his treatment, any kind of stuff, so that he's not missing practice time because of those kind of things or anything. But he does try to pick up teammates. He's not just over the top, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. But at the same time, when he's your wide receiver one, he wants the ball, and as a staff, we want the ball in his hands as much as we can get it there. And so to have him limited last week again was a tough spot for us. But he's just a very dynamic athlete. He can jump out of the gym. He's quick, as you just described. Great hands. A pretty good route runner as well, is able to create some space a lot of times and get himself open. So yeah, Trent, he's one of those guys you love having him on your sideline for sure.
Yep. I mean, we were all week in scout team because I'm a receiver, so we ran a lot of y'all stuff all week.
Right.
And when we were on the scout team, we have two groups, and each group had a guy with a skull cap on, and that was for Cooley. Yeah. So I mean, all week we were game planning for Cooley.
Absolutely. Yeah. You guys, and I think everybody else in our conference are gearing a lot of their defensive game plans around him and how to find a way to stop him.
Yeah. So I know you went to school here, right?
Yeah.
Like you're through
class of 99
all the way.
Yep.
And
yeah. I was a Crawford Eagle. I was a Center Valley. I don't know what's a Cougar or something like that. Is that what they are? I don't know. But then,
Cougars.
And then I went to Russellville Middle School, Gardner Junior High School. I guess they put some lipstick on that building, so it looked a little better than when it looked like a state penitentiary when I went there. But graduated from Russellville High School. Born and raised up, and a lot of fond memories of Russellville. And my parents still live there within, I guess, probably a couple, 3 blocks of the high school there. So we're in Russellville plenty, and it's always fun going back and playing at your alma mater. Not every coach gets the opportunity to do that, whether it's because they move away or they relocate when they get married or whatever, or maybe you just coach at a school that's bigger or smaller, and you never have the opportunity to go back and coach against your alma mater. So it's always fun. I look forward to it. One of my old head coaches here, Mike Lee, he at that time we were in a conference with Russellville and Conway. We were kind of in a weird deal where we were in the Central Conference, even though we're 3 miles from Oklahoma.
That's weird.
But we were set to play Conway, and of course that I was young enough. I still had a lot of that angst and towards that community. And so I was pretty fired up about that week, and Coach Lee, he was like, what, as fired up as you are now, wait till we roll up into Russellville and talk to me then, see how you feel then. I'm like, oh, it can't compare it. I mean, it's my high school rival. Now I'm coaching against my high school rival at Conway. And sure enough, you pull up there on the road, pulling down back behind the tennis courts or whatever, and rolling in to unload the bus, and all of a sudden the hairs on your neck start standing up, and you're like, yeah, I'd really like to beat these jokers. so to have the opportunity several times now to go to Russellville and get a chance to coach there at Cyclone Stadium, it's always a good time.
Your name is on the concession stand wall for the shot put record at the junior high.
Yeah, they've kept that up after all these years. As if talking about you guys not being born when I took the job in Van Buren doesn't make me feel old enough. We're talking about a junior high shot put record from 30 years ago. But yeah, it's that's neat to come back and see, and a lot of my players getting off the bus, my D-line guys, a few of them throw for me in the spring with our track team. So they're like, "Is that you?" I said, "Who else would it be?" So it's kind of fun to not only show the players, but then to have my daughters come in and have the opportunity to see my name on that record board. Even though it is a junior high record, I'm still cool with that.
Records are records.
Records are records. I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah. So I want to get your thoughts about Sunday tomorrow. Y'all play Silent Springs, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I want to get kind of y'all's game plan for that game, and thoughts about that?
Yeah, so Coach Lockridge, again, who has Russellville ties, he was a defensive coordinator for Coach Holt back in the early
Yep.
2000s. He's taken the head coaching job there at Siloam Springs, and they've transitioned from more of kind of a pro style deal where they were running a lot of 20, 21 personnel, 10 personnel stuff over the last few years, to now they're running wing T, and so we go from having to worry about playing wing T once a year when we line up against Lake Hamilton to now we've got to deal with it against Lake Hamilton, Siloam, and non-conference. We saw it against Springdale. So we've seen it once this season. We're bringing a little bit of what we did that week into this game plan as well. We've scrapped some of what we did that week and added a few new little wrinkles, and hopefully that'll, defensively speaking, will be enough to slow them down. They're methodical, want to really control the clock, time of possession, all that kind of stuff. So it seems to fit their kids. Their kids up there are playing hard. I know that they've shuffled the deck a little bit with some guys that were playing different positions last year. Maybe from receiver to running back or vice versa. There's some guys that were on the O line are now on the D line. So there's some changes personnel wise, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a smash mouth kind of quick. If we're not able to get them off the field, then that clock's going to keep running. It's going to shorten the game, and we want to make sure that we can get them off the field and try to capitalize on some field position stuff, hopefully. So,
yep, right. I mean, so you're the D-line coach still, right?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
And so, with them running wing T, that's really big on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a challenge that my guys are I think looking forward to more so than they were a few weeks ago against Springdale for sure.
Yeah.
They kind of got their feet wet with it, kind of remembered my upperclassmen guys, which it's a fairly young group, but a lot of juniors and several of them saw time last year against Lake Hamilton, but to kind of get reacquainted with it against Springdale, I think this week they're lining up with more confidence. They kind of know a little bit more what to expect as far as a lot of the blocking schemes and whatnot, kind of where to expect, that down block to come from on buck sweep and such. So there's a lot that rides on those defensive line guys as well as the linebackers. So we've got to be aggressive in the box. We can't tippy toe around. We can't make those soft mistakes. If you're going to make a mistake, let's make that mistake full speed, trying to make a play, and we'll live with that, and hopefully we'll get them on the ground, and make them snap it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that y'all had Springdale before, and then now you're playing Siloam. Yeah. I think that Lake Hamilton is like a really big game for y'all and for us also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're on very similar levels, and so I think that playing that wing T is going to be really good whenever y'all play Lake Hamilton.
Yeah, and I guess fortunate enough for us, we go to Lake Hamilton next week. So we'll get a dose of it this week at home against Siloam, and then we'll load up on the Yellow Dogs and head down to Lake Hamilton next week, and hopefully we can string a couple wins here together. But it's not going to be without their own challenges. Lake Hamilton's been running that offense forever, and they're really good at it.
Yeah, and
it's a bunch of tough, hard-nosed kids, and if you're not willing to basically put all your guts on the line, so to speak, against those guys, they're gonna chew you up and spit you out. So
yeah, they are.
So yeah, absolutely. We're glad that it does kind of sync up like this to where we're playing all three wing T teams really in the course of, I guess, 5 weeks when you really want to break it down as far as real time. So it is a good dress rehearsal, but hopefully it'll be enough to give us even more confidence heading into that Lake Hamilton game. Lake Hamilton, they've had our number pretty well over the years. When we have ended up playing them last year, we were able to finally get them at home again down there. I don't know what it is with us playing on the road against these teams that. Like I mentioned, the Jonesboro game and the West Memphis game, going to Lake Hamilton and beating them at Lake Hamilton on homecoming was a special win last year for this group of guys, and last year's seniors. So yeah, it's going to be I guess a combative next 2 weeks as far as in the trenches for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
Will.
Yeah.
Road games in our conference is super tough. Last year, Wheeler said something like there were only like one or two games, not from Greenwood, Little Rock Christian, PA, that were won on the road. And
Yeah,
so,
that's not surprising at all. You know, it is. It's a yeah. The conference that we share, Russellville and Van Buren and everybody else in it, I think top to bottom, uh, it's one of the top ones in the state. I'm not going to say it's the toughest in the state. I mean, well, I know there's some really good football teams in the 7A as well as 5A and even 4A and on down. But uh, it going on the road and winning in this league is tough. And
it is.
as was evident last week with us at Russellville, and we hope the same can be said for Siloam coming to our place this Friday night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that wraps it up. I think I appreciate you for coming on and
Yes, thank you.
getting the. I know we beat y'all last week, so I mean it's a little a little awkwardness there, but yeah.
Well, no, not at all, guys.
Yeah.
Not at all. I appreciate y'all inviting me anytime. I'd be happy to visit with you, and I think it's awesome what you're doing. This is outstanding. I'm a big connoisseur of podcasts, but most of the time it's investigating somebody's death, I guess. But it's not that or the Kelsey brothers, one of the two. So it's nice to get to visit with you guys, talk a little high school football, and see you guys promoting the not only the sport in your program, but also the podcast stuff. What class is this that's doing this here at Russellville?
It's I don't know. It's a lot of different classes.
It's like media communication, like AV production. It's like a kind
the
of
program itself is called Cyclone Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's outstanding. Well, kudos to your administration and teachers and stuff to get something like this up and going and promoting your school and the programs within it. So that's awesome, guys. Keep it up.
Yep,
sir. Thank you. Oh wait, one last question.
Oh yeah.
We asked this to every single coach that we talked to.
Okay.
So with the game like Madden and like NCAA 25 or whatever, do you play that? And like, do you know what I'm saying?
No, I do and I don't. I do and I don't. What I mean by that is like I kind of wait till all the attention gets kind of drawn off of it and it kind of simmers a little bit, and then I'll kind of slip in there and start playing so that nobody wants to play me right out the gate, because there's a really good chance I haven't played in probably like a year whenever the new one comes out. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what though, I'm a hard out on the show. So hey, we give me some Bobby baseball with the Kansas City Royals. I tell you what, right now we'll go toe to toe in the show anytime.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just feel like, so I know the Madden thing, playing it. I just want to see, like, I know it's a weird question. Have you ever like gotten any plays or anything from show, or like actually like tested anything like in Madden or college football or anything like that?
It's not so much that I've seen things on there that want to like cherry pick and try to use. More often than not, it's like I'm looking at stuff on there and I'm like, oh, that looks really similar to what we call this or what we do here or whatever. So it kind of yes, but also just kind of the other way around, where it's we kind of some stuff looks familiar for sure.
Yeah. Coach Rockwell from Lakeside, their head coach right now, he told us he got his entire 3-4 package from Madden Mobile.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, no sense in making things hard. Use technology. Don't reinvent the wheel. If you like something, use it. Here's the deal: if it stinks, you can always scrap it and try something else. Go back to what you know. So I think it's worth the roll of the dice sometimes. So yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, absolutely, fellas. All right, y'all take care.
I'm here with Cam Willis, Mayflower Eagles, receiver, safety. I know you got offered from University of Arkansas Monticello. I've had a pretty good start to the season. I guess we can just give your thoughts about the season so far and how it's been.
We've been playing like really good as a team. Our coaches prepare us really good for all the teams we play and stuff. And I think we'll go pretty far this season.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what would you say like compared to last year, of how y'all did? What makes y'all's team different than last year?
I feel like we've really worked harder since we went so far last year. I feel like we're just like hungry to go farther this year, so it makes us want to work harder and do that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I agree. I know I was kind of surprised. Y'all are, I know y'all are pretty solid, but I saw y'all 4-0. Y'all have outscored y'all's opponents 119 to nothing the last 3 weeks. It's like what do you think has been like that big, switch going on, just having such a successful season?
Just we just get after each other at practice, just go hard. Our defense is solid. The dogs, they work hard.
Yeah.
So looking at y'all's conference, who do y'all see as, would you say, as like the contenders, and like who's the guys that you are looking at right now and saying like we got to beat them?
I think Melbourne's had like a pretty good season so far too, so they might be a little tougher team than we've been playing. And Atkins, our last game,
Yeah.
they might be a little tough too. But I think we can come out on top.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. I know y'all. I mean, y'all have. I mean, it's 3A, but like, I think it's kind of weaker out of the conferences in 3A. I know there's a lot of other teams like I know Newport's really solid, and you've got like Centerpoint and freaking Prescott and all them. So I think I mean y'all have got a really good shot to go far and obviously come up on top in the conference and then go far in the playoffs. So yeah, I just want to get your thoughts. So what are some teams you think in the playoffs that will compete with y'all and just like that?
I'd probably say like probably like Boonville and Newport and Centerpoint, all them. But I think our coaches will prepare us and we'll do good. We'll put up a fight.
No, yeah. Yeah, going on, so away from the season, kind of more directed towards you. How's your recruiting kind of process been so far? I know you're a junior. I know you got an offer from uh Monticello. So like what are some, other schools that are looking at you and stuff like that?
Right now I'm working on putting a highlight tape together and I'm gonna try to send it out, try to get some more eyes on me, But right now that's all I got.
Yeah, it's just Monticello. Yeah, I mean, I play basketball, and I mean, it doesn't help that I'm like 5'10" and white. But so I don't have really any offers or nothing like that. I know Mason can test with me. He's like 5'8" white, and he don't have any schools looking at him. So it's tough. But I mean, because because I feel like I'm good enough to play at the next level, but. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to get your name out there, especially like for football, especially if you're not going to camps and stuff all the time. Like, I know that's a big way
Yeah.
to get. So like, I want like if they're, I think this. So after this football season, you plan on going to like a ton of camps and kind of putting your name out there and want to play at that next level.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing next summer. Probably joining like a 7-on-7 team and just going to a bunch of camps, trying to get some eyes on me and put my name out there.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because, I mean, you get college paid for most of the time, and I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
cool. Like if you really enjoy playing football, I think that's awesome.
How'd that Monticello offer come about?
Well, we had a 7-on-7 at Monticello, and we came out in third place. No, it was second place. And the coach came up to me after, and he asked me to come to the camp. He wanted to see me, so I went to the camp, and then he told me I had the offer. I had 2 years, so
Nice.
I was blessed.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So you said your coaches will prepare you against those better teams. Um, what do you think like your coaches do the absolute best that separates them from just your average coach?
Uh, they turn on the scoreboard during practice, and they'll split it up into different sections. So we're like focusing on different details and just getting better at those smaller details. And then we all come together and just get after each other.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I know our practices. I think our coaches. I don't know. I'm not in football, but I think they prepare, and I know they've got really good managers and stuff, and
Yeah.
prepare really well for that. I want your thoughts on who are some players on your team, some of your teammates that you think are pretty solid. I know Mason was talking about y'all got like 6 or 7 guys that are gonna have college offers, so just kind of highlight some of those guys.
Well, we got one of our offensive linemen, UTs. He's a senior. He has a
Yeah.
bunch of offers, but he's committed to Washington, I believe.
Hmm.
So, and then we recently lost our starting corner. He tore his ACL.
Dang.
So this kid named Gage stepped in. He's been doing real good on the defensive side. And Marcus Phillips, he plays both sides of the ball. He's pretty good. Whenever he gets the ball, he'll do something with it. So will Trebre Credit. He's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But he only plays offense. But our quarterback is pretty solid. Our second quarterback, too, is pretty solid. They switch in and out. So, yeah, that's a couple people.
Yeah. So you play both ways, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm more of like a backup safety.
Okay.
Just like if one of them get hurt.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you. So I'm sure you got it a little bit. So, what you enjoy playing offense more? I guess.
Yeah.
Playing receiver. I know you play receiver. So, what are some things at receiver that I don't know that are fun, better than defense? I don't know.
I just like running the ball, scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
catching
dude,
on people,
Dude, but to me, like, offense is just so much better than defense just because I don't like there's no way to explain it. Just like the rush of when you get the ball in your hands, nothing beats it, bro. Like nothing beats rush, like the adrenaline rush you get and what's going through your head as soon as the ball hits your hands.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. I've never played football, but I'm sure it's fun. I know basketball. I'm sure it's probably the same feeling like scoring a bucket. But so I want to ask you about who y'all play tomorrow, and kind of how have y'all game plan for them.
Tomorrow we play at Yaleville.
Okay.
We play them. They run kind of a funky defense, but like I've said, our coaches prepared us. They've focused on the small details and what to do and how to get around like the things they do and stuff. So I think we'll do pretty good tomorrow. And it's their homecoming game, so we're hoping to just shut them down,
Oh yeah, yeah. I know it's Greenwood's homecoming game tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I mean it's Greenwood, but it is their homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing at somebody's homecoming is, I don't know, it's a weird feeling because like everybody's there.
Yeah.
And it's super loud, but like I don't know, it makes me personally want to beat them even more.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody dressed up and everything. I don't know. I love playing at teams' homecomings.
Yeah, our coach didn't tell us till today that it was their homecoming game, so kind of fired us up for tomorrow.
No, yeah, that's probably smart. I know we played Van Buren on their homecoming. Van Buren had a really solid team last year, and we ended up like hitting 2 game-winning free throws, and that was freaking awesome beating them at their homecoming, and because everyone was there. That's like that was one of my favorite moments from the season. So yeah, I think y'all are good enough definitely to pull out that win. So I think it feels good in those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We asked this to pretty much everybody. Everybody we talk to on here, we ask them. So, do you play Madden?
No, not really. I used to like
a
couple years ago, but I don't really play no more,
Oh, okay. Well, you kind of.
Well, yeah. You play college football at all?
No, I haven't really
you
played
didn't
that
play college
either.
football?
That's crazy.
I really don't play the game like that no more.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't play the game like that either, but like college football, that's a good game.
College football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it. I played it before, but I don't play it like that. Like
Nah,
Yeah,
I played a
yeah,
couple
I
games.
understand. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, you still ask it because I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
I mean, like, do you play that and just like, I don't know. No, he's not a coach, so like he didn't learn stuff.
yeah. I mean, but like, I know if you ever played Madden Coach, like, have you ever taken stuff from the game and like ever used it like as a player and it helped you like I don't know look at coverages or stuff like that?
I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't
think
play
I've
it
ever
to
done
just
that.
have fun. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
I do that in basketball too. Like I'm playing 2K, like I'm not, thinking about it like, which because it's more of like coach question. Because it's kind of cool. We ask coaches, and
Yeah.
like I know the coach at Lakeside, he was talking about how he got like one of his base like 3-4 defensive package all from Madden Mobile. And it's just like so weird. And he's like he's 5A, like one of the best 5A teams in the state.
And their team's really good.
Yeah, he's a defense coordinator. It's so weird. But yeah,
that is funny.
yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I think that about wraps it up. I
that's
appreciate
it.
you getting on, dude.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate y'all.
And good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, bro.
Thank you.
All right, so now on to the games from last week. We'll be recapping week 4 last week, and then we'll be previewing week 5 today.
Yes.
So we'll be going class by class. I think we can sort that out. It goes a little bit more structured, a little more organized. But so
Start
starting
with
off,
7A.
yeah, starting with 7A, we've got Fayetteville. Bentonville West was at Fayetteville. What are your thoughts about that score?
I think Fayetteville expected to go in and beat the brakes off of them, and they pretty much did. 49-21.
Yeah, that's what they did.
That's what we expected. That's probably what they expected. Bentonville West 0-4 now.
Ranked number.
They were ranked number.
Wait, no, that's 7A. That's 7A ranked.
Yeah, they're ranked 10 and 7A.
Okay, I think they're top 21.
Yeah,
overall.
they're ranked top 21. They're 21 ranked, which is horrible.
Terrible.
I know that
0-4.
they're 7A, but like when you're 0-4, you haven't won a single game all year at this point in the season. Having them still even ranked is
Yeah,
just
like
crazy.
They're
to me.
just. I mean, if you look on paper, we're 3-1 in 6A. They're 0-4 in 7A.
There's a lot of teams you could put above an 0-4 team.
It's just you
Yeah.
can't rank it. I just don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be 0-5. We'll get into that. But yeah, Fayetteville, they're a really good team. We watched them play. Got a lot of guys out there. And then now, the Conway, Little Rock Southwest, figured that would be a blowout.
Yep. And it was.
And it was 56-14. Conway's got a pretty solid team. They're ranked. They Fayetteville ranked 4th in
No,
7A?
that's second.
No, they got Fayetteville ranked 4th in 7A.
Oh, Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's bad. This was last week's rankings.
Okay.
'Cause this was coming off of that Texas
I don't know,
high
it's still
loss.
stupid.
It's still
Yeah,
bad, but yeah.
Okay. Yes, Conway won that game. And then we had Bryant Central. Bryant killed them at home. We expected. Same thing, Springdale.
Springdale, Heritage. I honestly thought it'd be more of a blowout.
Yeah, when I see those scores, I always just imagine that it was probably 49-0, and Heritage probably scored those in the,
Yeah.
later part. And just
Garbage time,
Yeah, garbage
touchdowns.
time. But I mean, if it could have been sort of close. But I mean, Springdale, they beat Van Buren 21 points. So like, I've got confidence and faith. I mean, and I know Coach Elliott, he talked about how Springdale kind of runs that wing T.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know. Like I think that's a team you got a game plan for.
It's a weird team.
Yeah. So
That's a lot of points for a team that runs wing T.
Yeah, it is.
Like points overall in the game.
Yep.
68 total points. I mean,
that's a lot for because when usually teams run wing T, you run out the clock, but I mean that's kind of high score. Heritage sucks. So,
they're horrible.
it's just how it is. And we got Northside Rogers.
Takes down Northside. They're at home. Just expected win for them.
Yeah, Rogers is a good team. I think Northside's not like absolutely phenomenal.
Right.
But
Right.
Rogers, I talked about it, watching them against Sheridan. They're a really solid team, and I think they can make a run 7A. I think, those top 4 teams are obviously, I think, at their own level, like their own kind of tier. But,
Yeah.
you got some teams down there. I think they can compete with Little Rock Christian, Cabot, some of those other teams.
Yeah.
For sure. So now that Bentonville game, 55-21. You know, they were 0-3 going into that game, and
But it was Harbor.
yeah. I mean, it was Harbor, but Harbor's not a terrible, like absolutely terrible team, and they just blew them out.
Yeah. I was watching film on them this week because they played Greenwood.
Yep.
And their offense is so like one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like their concepts they run.
Mm-hmm.
Like in one quarter,
Just real basic.
they ran all hitches, all 5 sits, like at least 5 times. I swear.
That's weird.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
And it wasn't even like working that well.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know. Their offense is just very bland to me.
Yeah, and in Bentonville, they scored, put 55 on them, and I think I talked about it last podcast how Bentonville, I'm like, you never know these teams that are winless and have had hard schedules, like
Right.
they come out and we're like, I don't know, maybe Bentonville loses this game, I don't know, but because they go out, they're kind of a question mark, but then they go out and prove themselves and win that game. I think that's big for them. Then we got Little Rock Christian.
Surprise game for me, honestly.
Cabot, yeah, I figured Cabot was going to win that game.
Since it was at Cabot.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not surprised about the score.
Yeah.
I figured Cabot would win, but
I thought Cabot would win, but it was a close game.
I can see Christian winning. I think Christian, they've kind of improved since the start of the season. I think they've, I think sort of like us. I know that whole team kind of, it's a whole different team for Little Rock Christian. I think they're really similar to us, how they came in and we played Morrilton, and that first half was just terrible.
Yeah.
And Little Rock Christian, I mean, they played a close game with El Dorado, and they're not even that great.
Yeah.
So I think, like us, they've just gotten better throughout the year, and they're a pretty solid team. And then that PA game, PA North Little Rock.
Just killed North Little Rock.
Just killed. It's PA, they're a great team. So
Run up the score. Moving on to 6A. The scores for last week. I know that Greenwood had a amazing game against Shiloh. Kane Archer went out middle of second quarter with a concussion.
Yep.
Or they thought he had concussion. Not really sure.
We're not sure yet.
Big question mark on
kind of
that.
question mark even this week.
Yeah. But he didn't play the rest of the game from middle of the second quarter on. And Greenwood didn't score. They had 14 points at that time. They didn't score until they got to the fourth quarter. They scored 14 more just in the fourth quarter with that backup quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he's a great player. I think he's
not.
all right. He gets the job done, but I don't think he's really a game changer like
They ran a lot of screens when he came in.
Oh yeah,
a lot of them. So I think I don't know. They still beat Shiloh.
yeah, and we'll talk about kind of game plan for this week when we talk about that.
They beat Shiloh 28-17 at Shiloh.
Yeah, I mean that's a great win for them, but
They held them to 17. That's amazing.
yeah, and I want to talk about Shiloh. I mean they were up at the end of the third quarter. They were up 17-14 against maybe the number one team in the state, Greenwood. Like that's big for them. I think that shows just how great Shiloh is, and they can compete. They went up. They were 5A last year, come up 6A, and they're competing.
But also shows how good Greenwood is.
Yeah,
because they did that. They did that without Kane.
Without Kane Archer, they go out and score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that was a great game. So yeah, then we'll go to this Lake Hamilton Salem game. I know we talked about how Salem could win this game.
I thought it'd be a little closer.
I did too, just because that wing tee.
They both run wing tee.
So I thought, I guess Salem probably just can't stop it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
I mean, Lake
figuring.
Hamilton's done it for years.
Yeah, so they perfected it in Salem. You'd think it would be a little just closer because Salem, that's all they play against in practice too. Like they just run wing tee.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be a little closer, but especially with them running out the clock, just running it all the time. But I think that just shows kind of Salem's going to be bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And
and Lake Hamilton had to travel all the way up there.
Yeah, Salem's not going to win a game in conference this year. It's just how it's going to be.
That was one of the most winnable games for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Well, when we said Lake Hamilton was going to win the game, we were like, if Salem was going to win a game, it would be that one. And that shows.
They didn't do it.
Yeah. And then we had
Jonesboro Benton.
Yep. We talked about this. I think we talked about this perfectly.
This is literally exactly how, honestly, we kind of expected it.
Yep.
Benton won by 13 at home, 35-48. Jonesboro put up a good fight, though. Really tough for them because they're now 0-5.
Yep.
If I'm correct.
0-4.
0-4. My bad. They're now 0-4.
And they just competed with the
but they've
13
played
and 6A.
really good teams.
Yep.
They played great teams.
Schedule's tough. And they've competed in pretty much every game.
I think they'll end up being at the top half of that conference.
I agree.
But it's just hard for them right now because they played all their best teams all in a row. It's just a matter of if they can mentally stay in a mode of wanting to fight and wanting to stay in there, because when you start off a season like that, it's tough.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to bounce back. But I think they know they've competed with these teams, and hopefully they still have the mindset hey, we're a really good team. It's just we've had a tough schedule to start the year.
Yeah.
But then we had Sheridan, West Memphis. West Memphis sucks. Sheridan, I figured that's what I said. I knew they put over 60 points on them just because that's how they play.
Yeah.
And then we have, you can talk about this Russellville Van Buren game. I
23-31.
I said we were gonna lose, and I got proved wrong. Y'all think y'all played y'all's best game of the year? It's either that, or I think y'all played y'all's best game of the year. Y'all kind of just dominated.
I'd say
them.
so.
That's a really good team, and the score doesn't show it, but I mean it was 31-15. It wasn't really.
They scored one at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had to lead the entire game.
Yep.
I mean, we honestly just went out and just beat them. It was a great game. They had they've got some dudes over there. Their D-line was scaring Cade.
And they didn't really.
Yeah, I mean
they were good, but
our coaches put in a great game plan for that game.
I agree.
I think our coaches did an amazing job. We executed. Honestly, we didn't it looks like we played a good game, but as a team, we felt like we should have played better because they did get in the red zone
and
a lot.
They got to the 1 yard line to start the game 2 times in a row, and they didn't score a single point.
Yeah,
which it shows testament how great y'all's red zone defense is.
And our red zone defense is amazing.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't let them drive down the field like that. Start the game.
Right.
But
there were multiple drives where we should have scored. Also, drop passes, drop deep balls that would have been easy touchdowns.
Yep.
Messed up routes. I mean, the coaches did their job.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to execute a little better because I think that we could have beat Van Buren by much more than that.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean Van Buren, they were really good. They were, I'd say, behind. I'd say in order of teams we played so far, I'd say Greenbrier was the best.
Then Van Buren.
Then Van Buren.
Morrilton.
And then Morrilton.
And
then Sylvan Hills.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good win. And we talked about how you kind of needed that win if you wanted to make playoffs, and you got the win, and y'all should pretty much be a lock for playoffs unless something absolutely crazy happened. But yeah. And then we got Marion Sylvan Hills. We talked about Sylvan Hills if they wanted to, if they tried.
So this game was close at the beginning.
Yeah, in the second quarter, I think it said 14-7.
Yeah.
And I guess they
probably. Sylvan Hills just gave up.
I probably gave up the second half just like they did against us.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And I mean, Marion, I don't even think they're phenomenal. I don't think they're that great.
Yeah. The thing about Sylvan Hills is if they would just mentally lock in and play to their best ability the entire game, they would win a decent amount of games.
Yeah.
But they just don't.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. So then we go into that. We talked about this would be one of the best games last week. Mountain Home Southside. We both said Mountain Home would win. They go on the road at Southside and they win the game by 15.
Yes.
That's a great win for them.
It is. That one guy, number 1.
Their running back. I don't know what
he had.
I need to
44 carries.
I need to pull it up.
5 touchdowns. Like 280 yards all purpose.
Here we go. 44 carries, 236 rushing yards, 268 total yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick.
He was going both ways.
He's going both ways.
With 44 carries. And 5 touchdowns.
He's the team.
That is insane.
5 touchdowns. Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. I think, 44 carries, that's just unheard of. Like, that shouldn't happen. I mean, if he can take it.
I know he felt that the next day.
I know. Like, I mean, if you can take it, you can take it. But 44 is
Woo!
just
And he's playing defense, too.
Yes. I don't even know how you – I don't know. That dude's a freaking dog.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
But, yeah. I think it's good, Teller game out home. We play them next week. So, they're a really good team. I know they're ranked number 8 on the scorebook, and I think they're kind of out there on Max Preps, too. But, I think –
Yeah, Mountain Home's a great team.
It's a great win for them.
Southside's a great team. Mountain Home – just better. And they did it at Southside.
At Southside, too. That's big. Going on in the last game, in 6A for last week, we had Catholic and El Dorado, and that score kind of surprises me. I mean,
Yeah. I thought it'd be closer than that.
I thought El Dorado was gonna win.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a close game. It just surprises me. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, I think kind of shows me that, the same thing I was kind of saying about Christian, how they probably were just getting that close. If Christian played El Dorado right now, it would not even be close.
Yeah.
I think it's just, they went to El Dorado. It's just, it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
But, Catholic, they're not terrible. They're not number 5 in 6A. Not even close. But, that's a good win for them. And, we'll see how the rest of, the season goes for them. But, that's a team we could potentially play in playoffs,
Both Catholic and El Dorado are both
Yeah.
teams that we could play in first round.
Yeah, and I think we're easily better than both of those teams. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look through. Let me see. Look through. Let's look at the amount of home teams that won. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
And the home team won
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a 5.
But the thing is,
you had Greenwood,
Greenwood was away.
Lake Hamilton.
One of those home games was Siloam.
And then Mountain Home and Southside was the one where it's like that was
Mountain Home, yeah. But
the
like
rest of them,
the home team won. If it's like a toss up of a game, most of the time
the home team's just
home team's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of how.
Just want to throw that out there.
In 6A. Now we'll go. I'll kind of just get off the filter. I'll kind of go all the games, and we'll see kind of how. I don't even know how to do this. The association. How to do this? I have no freaking clue. Let me just look it up. I'm gonna kind of go through all the scores because there's some teams that are, lower classifications. Kind of I like them because I don't want to just go straight 5A.
There's a lot of 5A teams.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. You just point out any you see.
Fountain Lake Bauxite putting up a basketball score.
Oh, yeah,
72 to 78.
And that's a high scoring basketball.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, 78. And Fountain Lake, I watched them. Like they don't really have a high powered offense. Like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
I've never seen anything like that.
We had Mina Pottsville. I know Mina. I said they were gonna win, and
Yep.
they did.
Mina came out on top.
At Pottsville. I think they're a pretty solid team down in the 4A. I'm pretty sure they're a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
And then Lakeside, Camden, Fairview. Lakeside comes on top.
Let's go.
That's what I figured the prize score would probably be. I just didn't know with Camden Fairview being at home.
Right.
But Lakeside, by 7, I knew it'd be a close game. That's a great win for Lakeside.
Good win for Lakeside. That was needed for that conference play.
Yeah. And Magnolia, I think that score is kind of closer than I thought it was going to be.
Magnolia only won by 7.
Yeah, I thought
Arkansas
at
High.
home I thought it'd be a little bit more than that, but I mean they go out and they win the game, so I think they're up to
A win is a win.
3-1. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Alma Harrison. We talked about how Alma's probably going to win that game. I know Harrison's 0-4. Alma with Izzy back, they come out and get that win at Harrison.
Yep.
Far drive.
Farmington kills Pea Ridge.
Arkadelphia killed Nashville. We said that was going to happen. Arkadelphia is a pretty solid team.
What was the score on that?
42-12.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Pine Bluff, Jacksonville. What was the score of that?
15-0 Pine Bluff. They both suck. All right, we're talking about this game. Greenbrier, Moulton. At Moulton.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that Greenbrier lost.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about the guy we talked to about that?
Yeah, we were at Waffle House. It was real late. After we played Van Buren.
Why was he at our Waffle House in Russellville?
I generally don't know. They have a Waffle House in Moulton, don't they?
No, but okay, he was from Greenbrier.
Then why is he going the opposite way to go to Russellville?
Who knows?
Maybe I don't know.
But
he's a Greenbrier fan, and so
his son is on the team.
Yeah, his son's
his grandson.
Grandson's on the team, and he was talking about how those were the worst refs he's ever seen in his life. At Moulton, he's like, it's hard when you're playing against the zebras and the devil dogs. She said that the whole time. It's funny, which I agree. I mean, the rest we're at Morton is pretty bad.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Because whenever we played Morton, kind of had the same problem.
Yeah.
When you score 4 times in one drive.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think Morton, and they've played 3 of their 4 games at home, I'm pretty sure, already to start the year. Or maybe even all 4. I don't even know. It's something crazy like that. I don't know. I think they've kind of peaked. But I mean, they beat a really good Greenbrier team. So I mean, you got to give them that. But I think if it's at Greenbrier, I think there's no shot they win that game.
I think if it's at Greenbrier or if there's 5 out of 10 refs.
Yeah.
Greenbrier wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then going on to so this is an upset here. Waldron beat Ozark. We talked about that. Ozark was supposed to be a really good team in 4A.
Waldron came up with the upset.
Got the upset there at Waldron. I know that was a big
that's great
upset for them. Yeah, Bologna killed Clarksville. I know Greenbrier's going to Clarksville today. Or they might be, I don't know. They might be going to Greenbrier. Either way, terrible. That will be bad.
Whew. That's going to be a bad day for Clarksville.
Yeah, and Elkins killed Gentry 45-20. They're a solid team.
Elkins is a great football team.
Yeah. And Mayflower, 42-0 Mountain View. Talked to the receiver.
Yeah. They've just blown everybody out.
Yeah.
They scored so many points.
Harding Academy beats Greene County Tech 35-14.
I think a lot of people are starting to sleep on Harding now. I think they were overrated.
Now they're underrated.
But now they're underrated at this point.
I agree.
Because they had such a hard non-conference schedule. They lost it all.
Yep.
And so everybody's like, oh, no, they're not any good. But you have to keep in mind, they played teams that are higher classification than them and stuff.
Yeah, they played Benton. I mean, that's a tough game.
Yeah, and so I think Harding's being slept on a lot now because now they're only playing 5A teams, and I think they're going to make some noise.
Yep, I agree. And going on this, BB beat Maumelle 22-0 shutout at home. I know.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, because
I thought Maumelle would win that.
Yeah, because I know that even had implications for basketball there because we were supposed to play BB. It was a Friday, I think it's November 15th maybe. I know it's somewhere around where playoffs will be. And we got that game rescheduled because it was supposed to be at BB. Now it's that Thursday at home because they were kind of like talking to our coach, and he's like, yeah, like I think we're going to make playoffs, making a run. Because they weren't sure. They didn't think they'd be like that great going this year. And they're 3-1. They've just, shut out Maumelle. I think that's big for BB there. Yeah, Dardanelle was up, I want to say 56-0 in the second quarter against Dover.
Ooh.
That's bad. I think
so. The 14 that Dover scored had to be in garbage time,
like Dardanelle,
probably with the JV.
Yes, like Dardanelle. Like I know Creed had an insane game. Yeah, and then Cersei Whitehall. I know Cersei killed them.
Cersei got a good win at Whitehall.
And then DeQueen wins the game of the bums. DeQueen is 3-1. That is insane. That's the most Mickey Mouse 3-1 team I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
They might not win a game.
They will not win a game the rest of the season. The easiest team they play is probably Texarkana.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, I promise you, they did not win a game. And then Valley View, shut out Paragould. I mean,
49-0, but it is Paragould.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Valley View's good, but they haven't played a good team yet.
I don't want to see them play Harding. I want to see them play Wynn. I want to see those games. But even then, those aren't two, amazing teams. I want to see Valley play freaking team. I want them to play freaking Greenbrier.
Their conference is just so weak.
Have them play Greenbrier. Have them play Lakeside. Some of those teams.
A tougher team.
Yep. The last game here, Smackover. Talked to Paybot before that game, and they lose 42-50.
Yeah. I mean, they put up a lot of points.
I mean, yeah. It's just they also gave up a lot of points.
They gave up 50, though. It's hard to win a game when you give up 50 points. So going into next week, which is today, actually.
Yeah, today. We've got the first game here. We got Fayetteville at Rogers. I think that's not a terrible game.
I think that's going to be a good game.
I think Fayetteville wins by probably 17.
Yeah.
But 14-17. But I think it's not a terrible game at Rogers. I think more.
Looking at Rogers, they've beat who they lose to. Was it an out-of-state school?
I think it was an out-of-state because I know they beat Sheridan. I know they beat.
They killed Sheridan.
Yeah, killed them. Murdered them. I should know. Yeah, because I know Sheridan. He was Coach Keller's talking about how Rogers is the best team they're going to play all year. Not even close.
Yeah.
And they're in 6A. So, I mean, yeah, Rogers, they're a good team, but I do think Fayetteville comes on top. Kind of wins that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So on to the Springdale at Bentonville West. I know I've heard some people talk about this game, how they think Bentonville West could keep this thing close. I know it's at Bentonville West, but you got a 4-0 and an 0-4 team. Okay. And Springdale is not terrible. They're not terrible. They beat Van Buren by 21 points. They run the wing tee. So Bentonville West, I mean, if I see an 0-4 team, I'm thinking they're probably not the best coach team. I know they have a hard schedule. They're probably in the best coaching there, especially when you're playing wing tee. You got to have a freaking game plan. You got to, everyone's got to be on board. Right. I think Springdale wins this game pretty handily.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, maybe they made the same score.
I mean, Bentonville West hasn't won a game.
Yes.
They haven't won a game.
I want Springdale to kill them to just put Bentonville West out of they're 0-5. You cannot rank them.
I'm just tired. I don't know. I think it's just so weird that people are still talking good about Bentonville West.
Yeah, I agree.
They're 0-4.
I agree. We got a pretty solid game here. We got Bryant at Little Rock Christian. I think Little Rock Christian loses this thing. I think Bryant wins, but at Little Rock Christian, that's kind of the same thing with Fayetteville Rogers. You kind of keep it close.
Yeah.
But Bryant should.
Bryant by 20, 30.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I agree.
They beat Parkview by 20.
Yeah.
I mean.
I agree. Yeah, probably Bryant by 20. Bentonville at Northside. I think Bentonville probably wins that game.
Yeah, Northside's pretty weak.
I mean, they're both 1-3, but I think Bentonville showed that they're not a 1-3 team.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, this doesn't look like a very entertaining week in 7A football.
No, kind of looking through it, it's not. I agree. I want to I can't wait till Conway plays PA or some of those games.
Conway's playing North Little Rock this week, easy win.
Yeah.
Cabot's gonna get an easy win against Southwest.
Harbor's probably gonna beat Heritage because they're just not that good.
Yeah, and PA will get an easy win against Central.
So yeah, we kind of fly through that. It's just all those games are really easy.
Yeah,
I think the best games are probably Fayetteville Rogers.
Little
Rock Christian, but
yeah, and Rogers Heritage Harbor could be a decent game.
Silent beat Heritage. I don't care. Silent beat Heritage.
Yeah,
Harbor's a better.
But I'm just saying,
team.
just looking at the games, I don't know.
And Springdale Bentonville West could be solid on paper.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know.
It's just so hard to tell with Springdale Bentonville West.
Okay, so now on to 6A.
6A.
Talk about this first game.
This will be
Shiloh Mountain Home.
Immaculate game.
Should be a great game at Mountain Home, which I think makes it even better.
Shiloh Christian at Mountain Home. I think Shiloh Christian's a little bit better than Mountain Home, but since it is at Mountain Home, it makes it just about even. So, I personally am taking Mountain Home.
Okay. I mean, I'm personally going to take Shiloh there, probably by 10. But, I mean, I could see Mountain Home at home winning this game.
Yeah.
I mean, their running back's going to have another game. I think Shiloh and Mountain Home are kind of two similar teams.
They are.
And how they play.
They are very.
So, yeah, I hope Mountain Home wins. I think it'd be cool for them. But, I mean, Shiloh, they're 2-2. I mean, I think if they lose this game, they could be 2-3.
Yeah.
And I promise you they're the best 2-3 team in the state. But, they're a really solid team. I think Shiloh wins, but Mountain Home, I wouldn't be surprised if they went at home.
Yeah, I mean, either one wins. I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a blowout, either way, I'll be shocked. I'll actually be shocked.
I wouldn't be as shocked if Shiloh blew them out, but I'd still be kind of shocked because it's at home, Mountain Home. They're 4-0. They've just beat Southside by 15. But yeah, I think. Yeah, it's got to be a close game. If you're in that area, bro, you got to go to that game. That's gonna be such a great game.
But I've watched the full game of Shiloh against Greenwood, so I've seen Shiloh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the full game of Mountain Home, so that's why I'm not 100% on Mountain Home.
Yeah. Then going on to that Catholic game, Catholic will kill West Memphis, and they'll move to 5-0 in the year. So I mean, that's big for them. And then we got Russellville at Greenwood. I'll get your thoughts and kind of game plan going into that game.
I think if anyone's going to beat Greenwood, why not us? I think our coaches have put in an amazing game plan for this week. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I trust our coaches going into this game.
Yeah.
I think as players, we just have to execute.
Really have to execute.
We have to execute everything.
I think you cannot. This is one game where you just cannot make mistakes. You can't.
Yeah.
You have to. Everyone has to execute. Everyone has to be on the same page, and everyone has to. Go out and play their.
Here's the thing. Is Kane playing?
We don't know.
We don't know.
I mean, we've heard stuff from people.
I can't really say. I can't say some of the stuff.
You can't say some of the stuff, but I think we've heard he might.
We've heard lots of mixed things.
Lots
We
of
don't
mixed
know if he's
things.
playing or not.
We've heard that he has concussion. We've heard that he's playing through the concussion. We've also heard that he might not play. We've also heard that he might not have a concussion. I don't know.
Yeah.
All this stuff. We should know he got hurt last week, and he's a toss-up for this game.
Yeah. But him being in the game makes a huge difference.
It
Because
does.
their backup
Huge
quarterback
difference.
is not good.
Yeah. And
I
even
mean,
even if he is, he's probably going to be limited. Like,
yes.
Because the thing is, last year, if you look at the Russellville Greenwood game, he just ran all over us.
But if
he has this, I mean, do you think
if his
do you
head's
really,
hurting,
do you really think he's going to want to run all over us? And look at, we've got some linebackers. You see
our
Terry,
linebackers can lay
Terry
a hit
Haney,
down.
Ebar coming right at you. Like, I don't want to run the ball with a freaking concussion. I don't care who you are. So, I mean, I think we probably lose by like 20, 30, but I really hope we go out in here and win this game.
It's their homecoming.
It's their homecoming.
Lots of distractions. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Yeah, it's. I agree because I know we have color day in basketball, and that whole day it doesn't feel the same like playing that on that day.
Yeah. No, playing with homecoming as a player is really weird.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever won a colors day game for
In
basketball.
basketball?
I think my 2 years I've been here. I don't
Yeah.
think
No, like it's distracting. It really
distracts
is.
you. Yeah, like Van Buren. It was the Van Buren game, right? And we lost by
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
We just kind of were distracted, and we were, that whole day. And then I agree. So I think hopefully that happens for them. There's a lot of things, a lot of question marks going into that game, but
But you just have to just keep one thing in your head is like if there's a week for Greenwood to be upset by somebody,
I agree.
this one makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
I agree. I mean, if Russellville wins this game, y'all win this game, it puts the whole state on notice, and it changes a ton of things.
A
So,
lot.
I would
It
love
would be huge.
I'll be there. I'll be holding up my Mitchell Manning sign. So
Let's go.
need to hopefully get that win. But on to the next game, Benton Sylvan Hills. Benton will kill them at Sylvan Hills.
Benton's a great team.
Yep, great team.
Now, okay, this will be a sleeper game.
I think Jonesboro at Jonesboro kills them.
Kills them.
I think kills them. I think a lot of people. If you
I
look
would
at this
take
game,
Jonesboro by 20.
I agree with that. Like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By 20.
I think Sheridan. They're not a great team. They've
But they're very well coached.
Yep. It's just the players do not go out there and execute. I promise you they don't.
No, they don't.
But if you look at this game, 2-2, 0-4, you're like, oh well, Sheridan's probably gonna win. I promise you, Jonesboro's had a really hard schedule. We talked
Yeah.
about that earlier.
I mean, if you're just looking on paper, I mean, you think Sheridan's going to win this.
Yeah.
But
I think Jonesboro goes out here and hands this game, wins this game pretty
yeah,
handily.
I agree.
Yeah. Then we got Marion at El Dorado. I think if I saw this game last week, I would have been more, kind of intrigued. But
Now I think Marion just going to take it.
yeah,
I don't think El
17.
Dorado's as strong as I thought. Last
agree.
week, I thought El Dorado was pretty strong.
Yep.
After seeing them lose a Catholic like that,
20. Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they still have the opportunity to win this game at home. 'Cause
Right.
I think Marion's a little overrated too.
No, they definitely are.
So yeah, I mean, I think they go here and win this game and surprise people. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think Marion goes out, probably wins by the same amount Catholic
Yeah.
did, probably 17.
And then next game, we talked about this with Coach Elliott.
Yep.
Silent Springs is traveling to Van Buren. But here's the thing. Van Buren, this is the second Wing T team
Second.
that they played this year.
Yeah, because they
So-
played Springdale earlier in the year that, lost that game by 21. But he talked about the importance of, having that game and using that because you played two Wing T teams in 6A West with Salem and Lake Hamilton. So, I mean, he talked about, especially him being the D-line coach, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. I mean, Wing T, going against a Wing T is huge for the D-line, for him as a coach. And so this is a must-win game for Van Buren.
Yep.
And
They will.
if Van Buren wants to make playoffs, they have to win this game.
They will.
This is a must-win game.
Yeah,
But-
there's no. I think there is zero way if Salem let Lake Hamilton put 46 on them. There's no way Cooley does not go for 400 yards this game.
Yeah.
Cooley is going to torch up Salem Springs. You heard it first. Jordan Cooley.
Yeah, he's going to.
He's going to have
He's
a
going to.
game. Or the running back. Their running back's also pretty solid.
But on the standpoint of Siloam, this is a must-win game for them too.
Yeah, whoever your season is over if you lose this game, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think for Van Buren might not be over, but Salem definitely over.
Yeah.
Van Buren probably it's probably over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you got to win two pretty tough games, either Lake Hamilton, Southside Mountain, those
Yeah.
are tough. So yeah, I think whoever loses that game, season's probably over. Playoffs are not in the picture. But going on the last game in 6A, we got Southside Lake Hamilton. I think this is
Be a great game.
great.
It'll be a great game.
At Lake Hamilton.
I genuinely cannot make a prediction for this game. I can't. If I had to, I'd pick Southside.
You know, I want to.
But I don't know.
I think Southside's the better team. I think they're a lot better team. But I'm just saying because it's at Lake Hamilton. I think we talked about the home field factor. I think I got to go Lake Hamilton just because it's at home. It's such a toss up that you just got to pick the home team.
Yeah, I'm saying Southside just because, they did have a semi-close game with Mountain Home.
Yeah,
that's my reasoning.
I
But
agree.
I really can't make a genuine prediction for this.
Yeah, because my thing with the Shiloh Mountain home game, I think Shiloh's, good enough, better than Mountain Home enough where, like, I think the home factor doesn't really, matter as much. But I think this game, I think Southside's a better football team, but I think, it's not as close. I think it's closer this game.
Right,
So I
and that's a long drive.
That is a long drive. But yeah, I think Lake Hamilton comes out and wins this game. I know it's, the wing tee. It's going to be, I think, probably be a kind of lower scoring game for what they're both used to. So, yeah.
All right. Moving on to 5A and below. What are some good games this week?
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I'm interested to see our 5A South predictions. I think Lakeside will be second now.
Yeah.
Because they beat Camden Fairview.
Yeah.
They should be second.
All right, we got Wynn, Green County Tech. I think we talked about Wynn's a really good team. I think they go out and win that game. Green County Tech sucks.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Fountain Lake, Nashville, I think would be a solid game at Fountain Lake. They're both, I think, probably comparative teams. I think Nashville probably wins
I'd
that
take
game.
Nashville.
I'd take Nashville, too. But they did just lose by 30 to Arkadelphia. I think Arkadelphia, we talked about, they're a pretty solid team. But I think Nashville on the road probably wins that game. Boxside, Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia kills them at home.
Yeah.
Not crazy to say.
Yeah. Arkadelphia's good. They're really good. For a 3A school,
They're 3A?
pretty sure.
Not they're 4A.
3 or 4A.
I think they're 4A.
They were 3A. Might have got bumped
I
up.
think they went up.
Okay. Yeah, they're 4A. Yeah, they're 4A.
Yeah. They're a really good 4A team. I think Maumelle, Pine Bluff. Maumelle kills them at Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff is just not a good football team without Courtney.
Yeah. Without Courtney, Pine Bluff has had a rough season.
Talked about this Mayflower game. They're playing Yellville. He said it's their homecoming, Yellville. So, they go in there, and I think Mayflower 4-0. They go out there and probably win this thing. Move themselves up to 5-0.
I'd say schedule Mayflower as their homecoming was not a great idea.
No, not at all. And we talked about this Clarkson, so it's at Greenbrier. Clarkson has to travel up to Greenbrier. Let's just say there will be a murder.
Greenbrier's running back.
Oh my gosh,
He's going to go
I
insane.
didn't even think about that. Dude, he might have like 500 yards.
No one on Clarksville will be able to tackle him.
Like he literally will score every time he touches the ball. Probably.
Yes.
That's bad. Okay, Lakeside at Magnolia at Lakeside. I think that factor Lakeside.
Lakeside. You got to take Lakeside.
But Magnolia, we did talk about. They're a new coach, everything.
They have a good coach.
But
Lakeside, very strong team.
Very strong. We got Camden Fairview at Texarkana. I think Camden Fairview goes on the road and beats them. And
Yep.
Texarkana, they're better than an 0-5 team.
But they just had, a rough start.
Yeah, they've played some tough teams. I know they lost to Morrilton. It's Catholic. It's just they had a pretty tough.
Their
schedule.
non-conference was pretty tough.
And we talked about that, and you start off the year playing Magnolia and Camden Fairview. Top two teams. They'll beat Hope. They'll beat DeQueen.
Yeah.
So really, you just got to win. Yeah,
their season's going how we expected.
Yeah, we're it's kind of how we expected. Pottsville, Clinton. I know Clinton's a pretty solid team. I know apparently I have a cousin that plays for Clinton. I don't even know.
Hey.
Like I told last week, but they're 4-0. Pottsville's 3-1. I think at Clinton, Clinton probably wins that game 4-0. And Pottsville drops 2 in a row.
Mm.
And we got
Elkins.
Yeah, we got Elkins should
have an easy win at home.
And then we got Smackover. So Peyton talked about how good Bismarck is. Okay, it's at Smackover though. I want to pick Smackover, but they just had 2 really bad losses.
They're in a little slump right here, so it's hard to pick them right now.
They have to win. This is a must-win game.
Yeah, it is. No, they need to win this game really bad.
If not,
but they're in such a slump, it's hard to take them.
Yeah, I don't know if I can take them.
Yeah,
I want to take them. I love Peyton, and I watched them. They killed Fountain Lake, absolutely murdered them. Like
Yeah.
they're a better team than Bauxite. They're a better team than all those teams. But I just don't know if you can pick them. So I'm gonna.
I feel like their locker room right now is not in a great spot.
Yeah.
Until they put a win on that.
I probably won't pick them until I see a win. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to pick until
So
they
I'll
get a win.
probably go Bismarck here. They're 4-0. I know we talked about how solid they were in 3A. Or they're
3.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Alma Morrilton.
Morrilton at Alma.
I'm taking Alma. No. Wait.
That's tough.
Wait.
That's
No, I'm
tough.
not.
That's tough.
I'm not taking Alma. I don't know.
That's gonna be great.
That's a game I can't pick.
That's
I
a
can't
great
pick it. I
game.
can't pick it.
I go Morrilton.
I want to take Alma so bad.
I want
Just
to
because
Izzy Izzy's gonna have a game. Like he's gonna have to. I don't know. I think you got to take Morrilton there. But I think
Yeah.
y'all are so much better of a team than Alma. That like
Yeah.
I
I think you got to pick Morrilton.
yeah.
But the thing is, Morrilton's not played away games.
I really hope Alma wins this game.
Morrilton's only played their
I know.
games at home, and they've
Like,
been
if this
bailed
game's
out by
at-
the
If this
refs.
game's at Morrilton wins easily.
Oh yeah.
but it's at Alma, so like
the Morrilton probably won't have the refs on their side this
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So what are they going to do?
exactly.
Like I'm telling you, their corners, their DBs, they hold a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And if they have refs that are on that, they're in trouble.
Yeah. I think, we had guys break out for long runs. We had Sam. We had some really long plays that game. I think Izzy might have some big plays. I know
Yeah.
they've probably been scheming for him.
Yeah, I mean, they had trouble tackling Sam.
like Matt. All right,
And Sam is great at breaking tackles.
but you have Izzy.
Easy.
Do you understand how big
That
that
dude
is?
is huge.
Yeah. So I'll take it. I'll take Morrilton. Final call. I'll take Morrilton, but
Yeah.
I think Alma could easily win that game. We got Waldron at Dardanelle. I think Dardanelle wins that game. But
Darnell should come out with
I
a
hope
win.
Waldron wins that game for just for their sake and for their season. But they had a big win against Ozark, so I think this could be closer than what people think.
Yeah.
And then we got Joe T. Jacksonville. Joe T. will murder them. Valonia Pea Ridge. Valonia's going to kill them. Pea Ridge is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, sleeper game. Valley View,
This one, yeah.
Harding.
Value at Harding.
Wow. I think a lot of people are sleeping on this game. I really do.
I want to take Harding really bad.
I'm taking Harding.
I want to do it, but I'm probably going to go Valley View just because they've just dominated every team they played. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm taking Harding.
I think this should be a pretty good game. It should be a pretty solid
Yeah,
game.
that'll be a great game.
Yeah, I'll probably go Valley View, but I really hope Harding wins that game.
Yeah.
Then we got Rivercrest Newport, both 4-0 teams in 3A. I think Newport probably wins that game, but
Country Barker is a factor.
yeah, he is a great player, especially when you put him in freaking 3A competition.
Keandre Barker against 3A teams is scary.
Yep.
Like, that is scary.
Then we got Harrison Farmington. So really, Farmington is not actually 3-1. If we talk about this, they
Yeah.
was it the Harbor game got?
Yep.
We got
Harvard
forfeited.
played an ineligible player.
Yep. So then they gave the win to Farmington. I think it was like 65-50. So like it wasn't like terrible, but
But
they lost the game.
Farmington's actually 2-2.
Yeah, they actually are 2-2. Harrison's 0-4. I think Farmington wins this game, but I think it could be closer. Harrison played a
But
solid
Harrison's
game.
played some great teams.
Yeah. I think they played sort of close to the Mountain Home. Like it wasn't like a total blowout.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think they
But
could.
it's also a big rivalry.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So then I think Harrison could go on the road here and beat Farmington. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah. But
That's a
I
drop,
think
too.
they're even. In my head, I have them like 100% even. And
Yeah.
since it's at Farmington, I got to take Farmington.
BB Whitehall, BB will kill them. They'll be 4-1 on this season.
Yeah.
Parkview is going to murder DeQueen. That will be bad. That would be really bad.
Oh boy.
Like first
Oh,
quarter,
boy.
first quarter JV might be out there.
First quarter.
Yeah, I think that's about wraps it up. There's not really any other great games.
Hall and Forest City could be a okay game.
Yeah,
They've got it.
They're both terrible teams.
Hall and Forest City just have a bunch of super athletic guys.
Didn't Forest City get that new coach?
Yeah.
And they're 0-5.
Yeah.
Dang,
Yeah, their coach played for Arkansas.
dang. Well, that's not good.
Yeah. But
But,
Hall and Forest City both have
Yeah.
super athletic teams, so who knows?
Yeah. I know Salem, their quarterback, one of my cousins too. Episcopal's pretty bad, so I think they'll go in there and be 3-2. I think they're in the same conference as Mayflower.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be in the top with Mayflower in that conference. There's, you got them, you got Atkins, you got Mayflower. So I think that's a really good win. Episcopal's gotten killed. I know they lost 49-6 to Atkins.
Everyone's killed Episcopal.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this week. I appreciate it.
Great week of high school football in Arkansas this week.
I agree. Yeah, I think could be better. I think just because the 7A games kind of suck.
Yeah.
But then you got some really good 6A games. And, you got, the rest of the games are like absolutely. I think Alma.
Listen, conference play is crazy.
Yeah.
There's going to be some upsets in here.
I agree. There's going to be some teams that we didn't think would beat some teams, and they beat them.
Yeah.
I think, Morton, Alma, great game too in 5A.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate everyone for listening, and all the, Coach Elliott and Cam Willis for getting on.
Yes.
Hopefully, maybe, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, hopefully I have something big planned.
Yes.
And I hope y'all enjoy that. But we're going to get some, more people on, and try to get coach and player on next week and keep rolling. And hopefully Russellville win. If Russellville wins tonight, I don't even know. There will definitely be a post-game interview, and we'll be going insane. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah. So thanks for watching the podcast and listening. And, yeah, that about wraps it up.
Yeah. Y'all have a great week.